Hello. Today I want to talk about object adjective clauses, and this is in a series, in a playlist about adjective clauses. This is the second video. And also remember there's a worksheet that you can fill out as you watch this video if you just click on the link. Let's get started. Adjective clauses. You can see in this picture, the children are dirty. The children are dirty. The children who I see are dirty. In the second sentence, who I see is an adjective clause that gives some extra information about the children, or it identifies which children I'm talking about. Let's look at how to form sentences with adjective clauses. I have two sentences here. The children are dirty. I see them. In this sentence, we can see children and them are the same thing. What I want to do is combine these sentences using the second sentence as an adjective clause. The children are dirty. I see them. When I combine these sentences into one sentence with an adjective clause, one word needs to go away, and that gets replaced by the relative pronoun, and that word that's going to go away is them. So the children are dirty. I'm going to put this I see part in here. So it's the children who I see are dirty. So them gets replaced by the relative pronoun who. And the adjective clause, another thing, the adjective clause needs to go right next to the noun that it's describing. Here, who I see is describing children, so it needs to go right next to children. The relative pronoun, I have some options with object adjective clauses. And an object adjective clause is when the word that we replace, in this case them, is in the object position. I can also use whom, the children whom I see are dirty, because in this case I'm using an object adjective clause, so the object form of who is whom, but most native speakers don't use whom in this situation. Most use who. Now I can use that also, so we remember we use who for people, which for things, but we can use that for both people and things. Also, for object adjective clauses, where I have in the adjective clause a subject and a verb there, I can also have no relative pronoun. The children I see are dirty. Let's look at another example. This is the house. I want to buy it. Okay, in the two sentences I see I have house and it. Those are the same things. So it is the word that's going to go away, and it's going to be replaced with a relative pronoun. In this case, house is a thing, so we'll use which instead of who. This is the house which I want to buy. Another option, this is the house that I want to buy. So I use which for things, that I can use for people or things. And because this is an object adjective clause where I have a subject and a verb in the adjective clause, I can delete the relative pronoun. This is the house I want to buy. All three of those are correct. Here's another example. The camper is nice. He owns it. Camper and it. Those two are the same, so when I combine the ideas into one sentence with an adjective clause, it will go away. Camper is a thing, so we're going to use which. Which will replace the word it. The camper which he owns is nice. I need to put the adjective clause right next to the noun that it's describing. The camper that he owns is nice. The camper he owns is nice. All three of those are correct. Now that we've looked at some examples of adjective clauses, object adjective clauses, let's look at trying to fix some common mistakes with adjective clauses. Look at this sentence. Do you see any errors? The children who I see them are dirty. My adjective clause is who I see them. It's describing the children. It all looks good except when I put in the relative pronoun who, one word needs to go away, and that's them. So it should be the children who I see are dirty. Let's look at another sentence. The children are dirty who I see. In this situation, who I see is describing the children. The adjective clause needs to go right behind the noun that it's describing. So it should read, the children who I see are dirty. The camper is nice which he owns. In this situation, which he owns is telling me about the camper. It's an adjective clause, so it needs to go right behind camper. The camper which he owns is nice. And the last example, the camper which he owns it is nice. The camper which he owns it is nice. The problem is I have camper and it. It needs to go away because it gets replaced by which. The camper which he owns is nice. So today I've talked about object adjective clauses. It's part of a playlist. There's some other videos about adjective clauses, and I hope you enjoy all of them. Thanks for watching Teacher Dan's videos. Remember, please subscribe, share with your friends, like, and make comments. Have a great day. I hope this was helpful.